Hi everyone, I'm Nipasa and welcome to Immigration Talk Show. This is Daily Immigration Dose.
Hi everyone, this is Sam, and you're watching Daily Immigration Dose streaming live at 4 p.m. EDT.
Thank you so much everyone for joining us. And before we start off, I have this important disclaimer to read out. And that is by watching our videos, you agree and understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. And friends, I hope that you keep that in mind throughout this whole conversation today, this discussion program. And let me tell you that we are streaming live right now on YouTube, and you can also check us out. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as Immigration Talk Show. And just on X, we are Immi Talk Show. So check us out. Our handle otherwise is at Immigration Talk Show. Follow us, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon so that whenever we have discussions like these, you're notified and you can also join us. So best thing is you can join us not just on comments, right, Sam? They can also join us on call. So
That's right. And I think that is the best part of Daily Immigration Dose, that this is for you guys only, to be more interactive, to let us know about what your status is. You just have to dial up this number, that is 425-436-6335, with the access code 988888. And let us know what questions you have or anything that you want us to address to immigration attorney. We're definitely going to do that. And also talking about today's topic, I think Nepasa, this is a must watch session because is a US visa a right or a privilege? What every immigrant need to understand. I think this is really going to be very interesting because US Secretary of State Mr. Marco Rubio has said it very clearly that US visa is a privilege and not a right.
yes.
So I think the whole topic is around his statement only, and we do agree that of course it's a privilege, not a right, because somebody needs to work hard to get it. It's not something automatic. It's not something that you're just going to pay this much amount of money or going to show these many documents, and in return you're going to get your visa. You have to work hard, you have to earn it, you have to prove it that why you deserve this visa, and then only you are going to get it. What do you say, Nipasa?
Right, Sam, very well put, and in fact, just because someone meets all the eligibility requirements and submits the perfect application doesn't mean that they'll automatically get approved, right? It really, really needs the final decision, and this will include, of course, US immigration officers' decisions, and they have the full time and discretion to approve or disapprove of the same. So yes, like you said, today's discussion is going to revolve around all of that. And friends, tell us about yourself. What is your visa status? Are you planning to come to the US or are already in the US in a US visa? Tell us, how do you feel having that visa? And let us know if you feel that if a US visa is a privilege or a right. You can comment wherever you're watching. And of course, we will head on with the discussion. But before that, we do have a couple of news updates as well, which we would like to touch up on. So, Sam, let me go first quickly. My news update is, that the US government is now offering a new deal to undocumented migrants. I don't know how many of y'all must have heard this, but yes, leave the country on your own and they'll help pay for it. So, yes, under this program, who chose to self deport can get their travel costs covered and also receive $1,000, once they arrive back into their home country. Very interesting, right? Yes, Homeland Security Secretary Christy Noem said this in that this is the safest and the most cost-effective way for migrants to avoid being arrested by immigration agents. So the program runs through a mobile app called CBP Home, and officials say it's already being used. One migrant from Honduras has taken the offer. And why is the government doing this? If you think about it, deportations currently cost over $17,000 per person. And with this new option, officials say that they can cut that cost by 70%. So
Yeah.
this is huge for them, for US as well. And of course, President Trump had promised during his campaign to deport millions. So this looks like a part of that plan as well, just with a different approach and sort of a win-win situation for both the parties. So I wonder, what do you think about this approach? Let us know in the comments as well. And um, if you would also maybe take this offer in case you're a migrant here in the US, would you deport yourself just for the $1,000?
I think that's a good question, and let us know, friends, what do you think about this question. Okay, moving ahead with my news update, and that is about why international students are rethinking their summer travel plan. So, whenever we talk about summer plans, we do have so many things in our mind. We are going to have cold drinks, ice creams, going to go for beaches or somewhere else. But right now in US, there is something other that the international students are rethinking. Let's see what it is. So, with summer break around the corner, many students were excited to travel earlier, but some are rethinking their plans just to stay safe on the safe side. A PhD student in California has decided to postpone a trip to Hawaii because he said that I want to be extra careful with my status just to avoid any risk. And also, universities like UC Berkeley have even shared helpful advice saying that travel may be tricky right now, so take caution and plan wisely. And the great news is that even with all the changes, many students are staying focused on their studies and keeping their positive attitudes. So, friends, I would say that if you are an international students who are planning to travel this summer, then just make sure that to stay informed and keep in touch with your school guidelines. With a little caution, you'll be just fine. And also share this link to your friends because this information needs to go ahead in your friend circle because they might also be in this trouble and they might think that it's going to be a little tricky for them. So why not share these information by sharing the link of daily immigration doors and making them inform about these news update and letting them know more and more about the topic. And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Immigration Talk Show. It's me, Sam, with my co host, Nipasa, and we are going to delve into the topic. So, I think, Nipasa, now our news update are done, and we have given a gist about today's topic as well. So, let me start with the first, segment of our today's discussion. That is a US visa a right or a privilege? So let me start with very basic that what does this right and privilege means? So right means that something that is entitled to by law. That means no one can take it away from you until and unless you have done a serious crime. For example, if somebody is born in the US, then you have a right to vote. Talking about privilege is earned, you have worked hard, or something that is being granted to you by someone and that can be taken away from you if you are not following the law or you're not going according to the policies. And I think it's fairly said, that US visa is a privilege and not a law. Let me clear up this with something a good example. Just like, when you ask somebody if you can visit their house. For example, if you have a friend who has 10 to 15 years of your friendship and, they are inviting you as a guest in their house, then again, Nepasa, if of course they are friends, they are going to get some gifts, they have the invitation letter, but still before entering to the house, they are going to ask the permission whether they should come to the house or not. And it's their right to give them a yes or give them a no. So similarly, that's how the US visa works. I mean, if you are entering to somebody, I mean, a different country, then you have to be very careful. You have to be like, if you are not going to follow the rules, then of course your visa can be taken away, and that's how it goes. And visa officer at the embassy can still say no if you have all the right documents, if you're showing right to your home country ties, and if you're giving them the reason that why you're going to come back to your home country, still they can say no, because it's not just about how much documents you're showing, what answers you're giving. It's also what trust you're building in the eyes of the officials. And if they trust you that yes, you are a safe traveler, you're not going to give any harm to the US country, then of course you're most welcome with a privilege, not with a right. So I think, Napasa, this is what the meaning, and this is what, the right thing is. Of course, it's nothing to be debate upon it. And this is a common mistake that most of the people think, that if they are going to give documents, if they're going to provide answers, or if they are paying more money to have premium processing, then they'll get the visa. But it doesn't happen like that way, right?
Yes. Yes, actually, yes, very well put. And absolutely, it is a privilege, not a right. So, like you have already explained, and it's like there's a common myth also. Many believe that, if they've qualified once or they've met all the conditions, they somehow are entitled to get the visa. But it's really not like that. The truth is, every visa is issued at the discretion of the US government, and they can deny, even if everything seems perfect on paper. So you really need to keep that in mind, and be prepared for anything that the US government decides for you. So that said, Sam, I think I would like to also move on and maybe tell people out there what actually helps you get a US visa. So I think, yes, we all are agreeing upon that. The visa is a privilege, and what actually helps you get one is another question. So, of course, the short answer to that is strong evidence that you have a valid reason to come, and strong reason to return home
Mhm.
as well. So
Yeah.
this is one main thing to keep in mind. You have to have a very, very valid and a strong reason to come to the US, and also a very, very super strong reason to get back home as well. Yeah, for example, you're applying for a tourist visa and you need to show why you're visiting. Maybe it's family, sightseeing, a special event, and you will also need to prove that you'll be going back. So this is very, very important. And lately, it's also important to show your return ticket. So I think you really need to plan well ahead of time and be sure of when you're going to visit, when you're going to return also. And this applies to everybody visiting the US, all right? And yes, if you have a steady job or close family or property back home, I think these are strong signs that you will likely return back home. So this is one plus point that you can have in favor of you, especially when you're going for your US visa interview, and you'll be able to prove this. So but then, yes, if you're applying for a student visa, it's really important to clearly show how studying in the US, it fits your bigger goals, your, aim in life, or stuff that you have planned for yourself, your career for that matter. And let's say you want to study engineering in the US and return to work in your home country, maybe. So that makes sense to a visa officer. It
That's
shows purpose, it shows direction, and the main thing is it shows your intent to go back. I think that is what a visa officer is also looking for. So remember, that officers, they're not just checking your documents, but they're also trying to understand your story. Every story is different, every case is different, and the more genuine, clear, and goal oriented your story is, the better your chances are. I think that's the simplest way I can put it. So try not to, overpower, but what is, and that should be presented. I think
Mhm.
that's all I can
That's
say
right.
for now.
Absolutely. And, until and unless I think the things are transparent, the things are honest, there's nothing that you have to worry about. It's all just that you have to stay aware, you have to keep yourself updated. And the best thing you can, the best way you can keep yourself updated is by liking, sharing, and subscribing to Immigration Talk Show, because the great thing is that we come up, from Monday to Friday, daily immigration doors for you guys to keep yourself updated. And we do upload most of the news updates, so that there's nothing left for you guys to understand anything that is happening in the world of immigration. So do subscribe to our channel, and I'm sure you won't regret it. Okay, Nipasa, Yuri is also here. And Yuri, thank you so much for your comment. Let's take
I
Yuri's comment.
Yeah.
Would you like to go ahead, or should I go ahead?
Sure, I mean, I can. Yuri is saying ICE deported three US citizen children, including a 4-year-old with cancer, alongside their undocumented mothers last week. Yes, this is a heartbreaking story, prompting outrage and legal challenges. The families were detained after routine check ins in New Orleans and flown to Honduras without communication to lawyers or family members. This is really, really sad. Yes, Yuri, thank you for bringing this up. We are also aware of this, this news, and I really hope that, this family finds their way out of these
Mhm.
trying times for them, I would say, because this has already happened. And I really hope that we get better news updates about them as well. And once we do, we are going to update here on our channel at Immigration Talk Show. But until then, of course, there are so many stories, and it's simply heartbreaking, But it's like we don't know what to do, but just
Mhm.
talk about it. It's sad, it's heartbreaking, but it is happening, and there's no other way but to accept it as well. Of course,
That's
fighting was also our thing, but only till that also has a limit, right?
Of
Sad,
course,
but
it do. It do. But right now, um, we have limited options. We can't be very carefree about anything. So I think, Yuri, of course, this is a very sad story. And it's great, let us know more stories, or let us know more about your status, what you're going through, or if you know somebody who wants to be vocal on this platform, then please feel free. We are here and definitely going to take up your story, and would love to put in front of the different people too. Maybe they resonates with your story too. And Jay is here. So hi Jay, and thank you so much for your question. For your comment. USCIS have the discretion to determine whether an individual meets the eligibility requirements for a visa, and whether the issuance of a visa would be in the best interest of the United States. Therefore, a US visa is considered a privilege granted by the US government rather than a right that can be claimed by individuals. Absolutely. And this is what we have been discussing. And it's perfectly explained, perfectly put up. So thank you so much, Jeff, for your comment. Okay, let me go ahead with my next segment. That is what happens if you break visa rules. This is
Mhm.
another very important and really very important, to understand what may happen if you're going to break the rules. So, firstly, let me tell you, most of the people, most of the viewers think if they are going to commit any minor, uh, issue, or going to do something illegal, that may be not very much a big one, but still you have to face the similar consequences that can be a big one. Maybe there will be a lot of fine, or maybe you can be detained. So, overstaying your visa or breaking any rule that can lead to big consequences is really going to happen in a very bad way. When you get a US visa, you are allowed to stay in the US, in the country, for a limited time, with some limited rules as well, and some limited, uh, there are some requirements, there are some rules that you have to be aware of. If you stay longer than you are allowed, then that is called overstaying. And if you're overstaying, then of course you have to face some serious consequences. Maybe if you work without permission or study in the wrong visa, that's also breaking the rules too. You can say that I was studying, I was going with my education, then what's wrong in that? No, friends, that is wrong. If you want to study or if you want to work, then you have to get different visa, or there are different options that you can get in different ways as well. So there are, of course, serious issues, and that can lead to big problems like being banned from entering the US in the future. We don't want that to happen with any of our viewers, but if you are careless, or if you are overstaying or doing something that is not under your visa requirements, you may be banned or you may be detained. And I think these are the things. And if you overstay in the US for more than 180 days, like about 6 months, then you have to leave the country then and there, and you may not be allowed to come back for 3 years. I think this is a big thing, because anyone who is feeling like to come to US and work, and they may be banned to come to the US for 3 years, I think that's really disheartening and that's really bad. So yeah,
But
this
it's
is the
also fair,
thing that,
like,
yeah,
uh,
please go.
no, I was just saying it's also fair because, I mean, once you are breaking the rule or the law, you have to face consequences. So, I mean, US is already giving you a full 180 days. That's a long time to realize that you have overstayed your visa. 2 months, three
Mhm.
months, you're
Yeah.
still overstaying, and you already know that you are. So why not plan during that time? 180 days is a lot. Make use of each day. friends, and don't make that your last chance to be in the US. So because you never know, they're saying you'll be banned for 3 years, but who knows, because it's going to show like a bad rep for you and your visa, right? Like it's going to show that you have done this before. Maybe visa officers, when you get interviewed the next time, they may not trust you or your decisions or your goals enough, just because you are not following what you're supposed to. So
That's right.
try to be more clean and clear about all of that and no overstaying.
And ultimately, it is US officials, their decision only is going to
Right.
make, I mean, allow you, to enter the US or not. So it's better to have a good record and a clean record as well. So
Right.
Napasa, why don't you go ahead and let us know, another thing that how can you improve your chances of getting a visa?
Yes, Sam, sure. So, talking about, how you can improve your chances is, I think, the most important factor for anything in life is preparation. So, it's very important to prepare yourself for anything and everything. Of course, your documents, yourself, presenting yourself, and it's important also to be very honest, to be confident at the same time, and clear in both, your paperwork and your interview. It's very important to be clear. I mean, the what you're saying and what your records hold in documents should also be connecting to each other, right? You cannot be saying something else and your documents say something else. So you have to prepare yourself in such a way that nobody else can know better about your life than you. So I think, yes, prepare your documents much much ahead of time. Know your purpose of travel and be ready to explain how your plans fit into your life story. It's because if there's a disconnect, I'm sure, like, the visa officers are not going to be convinced by your story. So may that never happen. And prepare yourself well, friends. Be transparent. Don't hide anything. Honesty really goes a long way. You may say that it may not, but yes, it does. So it's very important to be honest in life. Also, much more for a visa interview. All right. And show proof of strong ties to your home country, like we discussed earlier. Maybe it's your job, it's your school, or property, that you hold in your home country.
Mhm.
These really have a lot of value. So show that in your documents as well. And keep your answers short and clear in the interview. Don't over explain and, sound rehearsed. Just say what is required. You don't have to say the whole story, just what is asked. And if you had any visa issues in the past, don't ignore them. It's very important to address them directly and honestly with the officer. So because like discussed earlier, honesty really really goes a long way, and misrepresentation is only going to fall heavy on you. So avoid that. And of course, attitude matters. It's very important. Go in with a positive mindset, but stay grounded at the same time. It's okay to be nervous. I'm sure everybody gets nervous, but remember also at the same time that you're just explaining your story, okay? Be real, be respectful, and let your documents also support your answers. I think that's very important.
Absolutely, that's perfectly explained. And the tips were also very important. I'm sure our viewers are going to keep those tips in their mind. And friends, just keep this in mind. If you are looking forward to a US visa, it's not what you deserve, it's what they are going to decide it. So this time, it's little challenging, it's little tough, but don't take a step back. Be a little sporty, be competitive in this. And if you have full of knowledge, if you have full of information, then I think there's nothing to worry. Just make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to Immigration Talk Show, and that will be great for both of us. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here and being a part of this conversation. And I think that's all, Napasa, right? It's almost time, and I think it's good to wrap up right now. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Also, don't forget to join us tomorrow again on DID at 4 p.m. EDT. It's me, Sam, with my co-host Napasa. Signing off for now. So goodbye, everyone, and take care.
Bye, everyone.